Dr. Fauci, knowing that it is a crime to lie to Congress, do you wish to retract your statement of May 11th where you claimed that the NIH never funded gain-of-function research in Wuhan?
Senator Paul, I have never lied before the Congress, and I do not retract that statement. This paper that you are referring to was judged by qualified staff up and down the chain as not being gain of function. Let me finish.
You take an animal virus and you increase its transmissibility to humans, right. You're saying that's not gain of function?
Yeah, that is correct. And Senator Paul, you do not know what you are talking about, quite frankly. And I want to say that officially. You do not know what you are talking about.
Animal viruses that only occur in animals and they increase their transmissibility to humans. How you can say that is not gain of function?
It is not.
It's a dance, and you're dancing around this because you're trying to obscure responsibility for 4 million people dying around the world from a pandemic.
And let's send Dr. Fauci.
I have to, well, now you're getting into something. If the point that you are making is that the grant that was funded as a sub-award from EcoHealth to Wuhan created SARS-CoV-2, that's where you are getting. Let me finish.
We don't know.
Well,
we don't
wait
know
a minute.
If it did come from the lab, but all the evidence is pointing that it came from the lab, and there will be responsibility for those who funded the lab, including yourself.
And you are implying that what we did was responsible for the deaths of individuals. I totally resent that. And if anybody is lying here, Senator, it is you.
You have a look at this paper I found from 1977 that spells out how they took a coronavirus and they successfully got a lectin, a form of venom, to stick on that coronavirus. And so, you know, that to me is like, I shouldn't be trying to explain that to the public.
So someone's been vaccinated, they're concerned about this, they believe it's venom or venom peptides. How do they counter this? How do they get it out?
Yeah, this is great. So in the research done by Catalina Carrico and Drew Weissman, they use this thing called snake venom phosphodiesterase, they say, to actually do the gene editing therapy, to cleave RNA and DNA, to get the mRNA inside of it. That's what they've been doing. This snake venom phosphodiesterase, you can actually buy it online at Innovative Research, and it actually states on there, it says you cannot mix it with any of these 4 things. You can't mix it with glutathione. You can't mix it with any cysteine products like N-acetylcysteine. You cannot mix it with vitamin C or ascorbic acid, and you can't mix it with EDTA. Any of these 4 things will completely inhibit or destroy this gene editing snake venom phosphodiesterase. I would suggest that if anyone's had the shots, the mRNA shots, and they're having any symptoms ever since, I would absolutely recommend they consult an infusion center for glutathione injections and vitamin C high-dose injections. And let that clinic or those clinicians who are experts in that field tell you based on your medical history, weight, size, how often to do it. But if it actually is known to negate and inhibit the mechanism of action of that substance found in snake venom that we know was being used since 2009 as the source to do cleaving of your DNA by the researchers who created these shots, that's number 1 what I would do. I would recommend everybody get on high-dose vitamin C orally. If you've been injured by the shots, please get it intravenously, and then and glutathione also.
With the nicotine and melatonin?
Oh yeah, I would definitely try those. Yep, I would try the nicotine probably 2 to 3 days at most and see if you see improvements. Melatonin, I would just stay on.
These scientists have been grappling with how to stop sepsis, one of the most deadly complications of COVID-19.
He was very critically ill with multiple organ failure, and we were fearful that he wasn't going to make it.
They administered a dose of vitamin C 50 times greater than what's been tried before.
For a human, if you got this dose, it would be something like 5,000 oranges worth of vitamin C. The response was one of the most amazing things I've seen in my research career.
Right now, if you search vitamin C on the internet, search results analyzing its potential impact on the coronavirus show up immediately. A doctor in New York said he's seen promising response in patients receiving upwards of 6,000 milligrams per day.
one of the most exciting aspects of what we're seeing with vitamin C is the amount of time that it's able to reduce ventilator times for patients that are in the hospital.
In China, they're already proving the success rate with 10,000 to 20,000 milligrams a day for mild to moderate cases. And Dr. Mao reported that they had a patient declining in front of them. They gave him 50,000 milligrams in 4 hours, and they watched all of his respiratory sats and everything improve in front of their eyes.
I just want to continue to propose it's going to be what you take care of internally. I've already said this is a massive eugenics program, a massive genocide program. They are using biological weapons that I believe are being targeted and used and extracted and isolated and synthetically made venoms from shellfish toxins, snake venom toxins, and that's how they're creating this entire pandemic. And they're using those same biological weapons inside the vaccines, which is why you're seeing such horrible detrimental effects. And what we have heard consistently is zinc load, vitamin C load, D, glutathione, NAC, these are all going to be very protective internally against any deadly disease processes, even of biological weapons. The vaccines are not the same as the actual gain-of-function weapon they used from the beginning. They're different. And what would make it different is what allows any cell in your body to be gene edited. And that's what Anthony Fauci and the NIH have been funding for at least 13 years now with these two people.
Is this the reverse transcriptase?
Yeah, they use reverse transcriptase to actually get this mRNA inside your cell, and they're telling your cells, they want your cells to now generate a spike protein all on its own, which is similar to the spike protein on SARS-CoV-2. The problem with that is the Salk Institute actually said that the spike protein without the virus all by itself destroys 28 different tissues in your body. And they want your body to make it